So officially dying 3 times, like medically, operating theatre as well and other things. It's been medically documented. It's funny that I feel guilty for saying this because I love my children. When I popped out of my body, sort of thing, my soul, I didn't want to return back because of the experience that I felt, the oneness. I was in so much awe. And I go there in my meditations now, and I go into deep meditations and the work I do in my trance stuff. And it's like, at the time, as a human, I didn't want to return back because of the human suffering, the pain that we feel as humans, and our senses and everything else in this human vessel. Didn't want to return back. Loved my children, wanted to come back for my kids, part of me, but it was a bit like, but it was so blissful where I was, and feeling as if you're one with everything. And one meaning, okay, thank you. I was asking you a question at the same time to see how I'm going to explain this. But it's a bit like, say, for instance, if by standing by the seashore or on top of a cliff and you enjoy the wind, or you enjoy hearing the sea and having the waves sort of splashed up against you, or feeling the wind going through your body, it's that feeling of being part of the wind. It's that feeling of standing on the cliff top, looking at the sea, or the beautiful light, or feeling the wind rushing through you. This similar experience that I had. I think I had a conversation with somebody before today. It's you're feeling part of it. That oneness, that you are feeling like the wind, you are feeling like the water, you are feeling like that's like. You don't feel small. You feel large. You feel that you're part of every living thing. Okay, thank you. And you can sort of achieve that to some degree by, I'm not talking about, or everyone has to have a near-death experience to experience that, but it's been part of like the mindfulness meditation. It's been like by being aware of your own physical self, by experiencing those things that you have on planet Earth. Thank you. They said, by experiencing being with nature, that's the closest of feeling that there is this oneness, the sunshine, the warmth, the air that you breathe, being by, thank you, that's a bit like the meditation again, by through meditation, by the breath that you breathe in and out, being aware that there are billions and trillions of people on your planet that are taking that similar breath at the similar time. You're breathing in their breath, they're breathing in your breath, you're breathing in the oxygen, you're breathing in what the trees are sending out, you're breathing in, you are that oneness. And through meditation, thank you, they said, you're connecting to that, you're connecting to source, you're being aware of that. So that can be achieved to a certain degree. Thank you. They say not everyone has to pop their clogs and pop out of their body to achieve that, but it's like making people aware that you become one, being part of a group. When you meditate, you become part of one, connecting, you're tuning in. It's a bit like people have dogs or cats or whatever, their animals are tuning into them, they're part of one. It's a similar thing, but a lot on a larger scale. Thank you. And then your okay, thank you, your question about Zachariah. Zachariah, I didn't realize at the time, by going back doing the past life regression sort of thing, Zachariah kept on popping up, and it was literally in the middle of the night. It's been about 4 or 5 years ago now. I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning. I've got this whiteboard and I just write down everything. Excuse me. And as I was writing down everything, and I said, well, who are you then? Who are you? And all I had was Zachariah. I went, well, what did you come from? And it was then started giving me passages from the Old Testament. And I was like, I don't know anything about the Bible. And I had to research it, and I found it's from the Old Testament. So Zachariah comes back when the Old Testament was being written. And I know the Dead Sea Scrolls, and I know that the information that he taught Jesus. He was a teacher of Jesus. One of his students was Jesus, and that was one of his lifetimes that he was here. So he was here as the soul was incarnated in the human being sense, and he was here to teach many. He's witnessed, I say he because that he is him and gender, that he has taught many. And many would have sat within the caves and learned information. And when I go back and I sit and meditation with Zachariah, I also know, and I found this out recently, that I was at one point, I sat in the caves with Zachariah as a human being of flesh when he was here, and he had taught me, going back centuries ago, and our connections, like the kinship, very close, was because of we've met before in past lives and when I was here. So it made it easier for me to connect to this ascended master, and this ascended master because he was ascended master because he's a teacher. Like you have Buddha, Jesus, and all the others that come in as ascended masters. They've been lived the human experience. They've been teachers on this planet, as in the sense of teaching others, spiritual teachers as such. And it's not that they say, right, okay, I have my cards in now, I'm not working anymore. It's like they then go on to carry on teaching, that raising the consciousness on the planet. Now, when I have been in communication with Zachariah and spoke about my near-death experience and, you know, did you not want to come back and whatever, we are here on a limited time scale in the sense of how much we wish to learn and what it is we want to learn at any given time, and how best we can serve. Now, when I had my communication recently, I was talking to Zachariah. I've been told I'm not coming back again. This is it. I'm not coming back on recycle mode. I will go off and be part as one. And I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that. But I can only do so much as I am here, and then to go off to be part of the one universal energy. And I didn't know how to take that. And I was like, but that's what I was told from the amount of times and, you know, of passing over. And I'm not just talking about this human experience. There's only so many times I can be here. And not even in this human experience. I mean, I say 3 official near-death experiences, but if I look back to February 2022, having, you know, my mini stroke, my brain bleed, you know, KO'd, knocked out, and I shouldn't have really survived that. January 2023 this year, diagnosed, you know, well, not officially diagnosed, but having all the cancer and everything, and then it's just gone. Don't know where it's gone. Anyway, it's gone. So on that soul level, it's being here for that time to experience and to have the senses and stuff. Okay, thank you. I'm going to ask them now because I can hear Zachariah's like knocking at the door. Come on, let me in. I'm like, okay, come on in. So let's see what they have to say. The human is, let's see, the human, how you hold things of value. The soul, how the human feels the soul is of so much value. Yes, of course, to some degree it is of value, but you do not separate yourself when you pass. Your soul becomes one. It wishes to be the wind in the trees and blowing. It doesn't need to return in the sense of having the human experience again once you have gone through the cycle of what it is that you need to wish to learn. Those who pass through, in the sense, on the spiritual sense, if we think of the spirit that goes through, and it's not the time to end the cycle, and somebody who sits in front of Anne who needs to hear the information, they feel the senses, they are able through Anne to bridge, to link, like many mediums who channel information, to have that experience again. There are many that Anne are working with, that their loved ones are here on this side, and partnerships, romantic partnerships, who do not wish to leave, and they still continue to have that relationship with them. There is a particular couple where she will eat those chips, those crisps, and taste the flavor of the particular items in her mouth, and because she's linked energetically to her partner, her loved one, a romantic partner, and they wish to continue to have a relationship, then the senses he picks up through his loved one's tongue, taste buds, and he still feels, and he has those senses. Now, without linking up to her, he would not be able to feel this. He's aware that when she watches the program that he enjoyed watching, that he can see and visualize and also take in the world through her eyes to some degree. But this is their relationship they have grown and nurtured. This is physically possible because the individuals of the work that they have done upon themselves. So the soul doesn't necessarily miss the information or the senses. It's just they wish to continue their relationship on the other side. Now, the soul is aware,
we call it the soul, but again, that doesn't feel quite right. But the soul is in this dimension of your lifetime. But the soul also travels in different dimensions. There are other places. It's not just Earth. There are other places and other times and spans as well. This will be covered shortly. But there are other dimensions where the soul can travel through different time spans, play in different roles. So it's more than just the soul or Earth. There are other time lapses and parallel universes. So much more information that many of us do not know or are unaware. But as we're answering this question, the soul can feel through their loved ones certain things. So if you're missing a loved one, you are able to bring them forward. They'll be able to feel into what it is that you're doing in your day.